Good morning, everybody. Welcome to you all to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. I'm Aidan Squire, I'm your chairman. I'm here to get you through the agenda and all other big nice things that we do today. First of all, may I welcome as visitors Darren O'Neill and Scott Charles. Welcome to you both. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the meeting. Scott actually, yes, we've got Scott imitating Scott by the first name, and we've got Darren imitating another O'Neill that we happen to here today. So that'll add confusion because we want them to join, but we want to make it more confusing for all of you. Let's move on with the meeting. The first thing that we do, but before I do that, the leadership team, who are always helpful to me and assist in the meeting, are available. Please be standing and introduce yourselves.
Good morning all, Paul Corrigan, Social Secretary.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Clara. I'm Sarah and I deal with membership and recruitment.
Good morning, I'm Scott, the original Scott, your meeting secretary and handsome funny live chat.
Morning guys, Ben, your education coordinator.
Morning everyone, I'm Vincent. I chair the membership committee and I'm also the official timekeeper.
Thank you all. Please be seated. And now that you're seated, and we've got a good number, we're 27 in number today, so excellent. Let's get on with it and make sure we get through everything in good time. Augustine is first, Scott is first. Take it away, Scott.
Yeah, let's go. So today is the last week in January, so the last week on our performance leave that we're reporting stuff. Excuse me, for the benefit of the guests, we wipe it blank each month and score points throughout the month as we do things as simple as turning up, through to giving and receiving business amongst ourselves, even just commenting on our blog or having a one-to-one get-together with another member just to learn more about what you do and how you can work better together. Everything scores points and we chart that in a league. So, unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate at all, but Stu's at the top because Stu has put in a great big bundle of months worth of stuff in my go. So unfortunately, you can't be labelled as the because that's cheating.
He works efficiently.
Yeah. So let me just give you the rest of the top, which means it's going to sound kind of very vague because Terry's in fourth but third with 223 points. Matt is in third but second. 245 points, and I am at the top of the 250. So sorry, Stu. Yeah. One minute, I'm in it, sorry. I'll pass it around. He's over that.
Thanks, Scott. Right, let's move on. Next is the education presentation, and it's Ben.
Thank you very much. So, good morning everybody. So you've got me today. So, when I was doing a training for my business earlier this week, one of the things that came up when we spoke about networking was how people get a little bit nervous about when they do their presentations. So whether that's your 60 seconds or whether that's your 10 minutes, or whether you're actually presenting your business to someone, you get a little bit nervous. So kind of came up with a few things that might help you on your presentation. So there's 4 things that you need to worry about. And that is, first one, you. Second one is the message you want to give across. Third is your delivery. And fourth, your audience. So let's break these down a little bit. So let's start with your audience. So always think, who are you, or who are the audience? What kind of language that you use are they going to understand? What problems have they got that you can fix? And what can you say that will interest them? So what do they need? What do they need to know about you? And always think, what's in it for them, rather than what's in it for you. Going on to the message that you're pushing across. So this could be something that's new in your business. maybe it's the benefit of using your products or your services. Have a think, what do you want your audience to know? What do you want them to learn? And what do you want them to tell other people? And that's a really important one when you're going for referrals. So what to tell them to tell other people. Now, third one, your delivery. So this is where you can shine. It's your chance to shine and show your enthusiasm and your passion for your business. But always be yourself. So be enthusiastic. Learn a way that you can kind of cope with your nerves. That by practicing, knowing what you're going to say, making sure that your voice is warmed up so you don't start, good morning, and sort of like all over the place. Do things to hold their attention. So, maybe we always say it's great to have a big finish and a big start. So if you think of your presentation like a washing line, right? So you've got a pole here and a pole there, and the line going across. What happens sometimes? It starts to sag a little bit in the middle. So what can you do to hold people's attention so your presentations don't sag? So you could use things like props or videos, or maybe you're going to use slides, or maybe you've got a killer fact or a key story. Maybe you could do a bit of audience participation or have that wow factor. But always give something that they're going to think about, but maybe sometimes give them something that they're going to worry about. And finally, you. So, we said earlier, always think what's in it for them. Think how you can kind of remember what you're going to say. So use cue cards, or maybe follow the slide. Get better by practicing it over and over. So practice in front of the mirror, practice the dog, practice the cat. Keep to time. A really, really important one, keep to time. Now, whatever you're doing, especially if it's your 60 seconds or your 10 minutes, Toby, don't speak too fast. News readers actually do 3 words per second. There. So on 60 seconds, that's an average of 180 words. So if you're trying to cram over 200 words into a 60 second, it can get a little bit too fast and a little bit too much. So slow down and pause for your impact. So the next time that you present, have a think that you've got a roadmap on where you want to go, and you know what you're going to do, and why people should listen to you. By being engaging, and remember that you are the expert in your business. But I hope that helps for your next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Well done. And maintaining your metaphor, a clothes prop would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
The line, yeah. Right, okay, well, let's move on to something far more interesting. Terry. Any matter?
Yeah, thanks, Aidan. There are a couple of membership matters. One of them is Howard's membership's been renewed. He's not here, but he has been renewed. And we've got another one in the pipeline, haven't we? So that's always good. And we've got a couple of memberships today, so if you want to think about membership, speak this after. Yes, thank you very much, Vince. And thank you for your help in the membership committee. All good.
Thank you, Terry. Right, okay. I think this warrants me standing up. I normally do anyway if I can get up. And right, we're heading towards the 60-second round. Your chance to present your company in the best light, but only in 60 seconds. The timekeeper after 50 seconds will do that. And then after 60 seconds, he will do what you see here, the double clicks. Yes. Wind up and sit down if you haven't finished already recording. Yeah, good on it. Right. So, with that in mind, and before we get going on this, I'm going to pass the business card box round. Take business cards to assist you in making referrals and make sure you're adequately represented in there. I also send round Blake's blue box. Put in your paper as you go around. Okay. that means that we're probably ready to go. The listening manager, John, is proudly presenting it to us today. He will be thinking, working it out, and deciding who to award the Oscar to this week. So he will go first, and he will be followed by Matt Barry. John?
Never been first before. Good morning, everybody. John from Lockfit Bishop Stortford. I unfortunately am going to do everything that Ben has. Do the opposite of everything Ben has said. I haven't rehearsed it or anything. But anyway, I've got some little lubricant here that will save you a lot of money if you're finding that you've got any issues with your locks. Essentially, it is recommended that you oil your locks every 6 months to stop them from jamming, and then ultimately failing and getting yourself left out or left in. This little box here will last you years. Use it every 6 months, and it's safe. Basically, it's called a micro graphite lubricant. You basically puff it into the lock, pop the key in, turn it a few times, and that will hopefully get a little bit of longevity out of your lock. I have been going to a lot of locks at the moment where they are seizing up and snapping, so this will definitely save some money. You can get it on Amazon and eBay. Thank you very much, John from Lockfit.
John, there's a business opportunity for you here. We all need one of those.
It's on my website.
Excellent. Well done, John. Right, Matt, you're next, and you're followed by Paul C.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Harry from Blue Serif. We are a creative branding agency. Now, it's been proven that if you don't invest in your brand, that you could be missing out on potentially 10 to 20% of growth per year. Without that consistency of brand, that professional outlook, but also understanding what your brand is achieving and supposed to be pointing to towards your market audience and your products and services, you could be losing out on that potential growth and that revenues that potentially could go up by nearly a quarter if that consistency approach is put in place. Now that's where we can help you. So Blue Serif are a leading brand design agency, and we can provide you with an audit of your brand positioning across all your platforms, but then also help you to put into place a strategy to implement that brand consistency across all of those medias. So if you need any advice, please do get in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt. Paul, you're next, followed by Dave Moore.
Morning all, Paul Corrigan from Solitaire Plumbing Heating. It's been an exciting busy week this week, which is unlike us this time of year. Picked up a new van last Tuesday, another van to our fleet. Lovely. We've had quite a few jobs accepted actually, and one of them we're doing a tender for at the moment, the University of Essex, which is great. So basically, it's a contractor has asked us to tender for all the commercial plumbing and heating. So we're tendering for that currently, but it led me on to think, if anyone here knows of any contractors, builders that need a plumbing and heating company to do all their commercial tendering from, we're really good at it without being bid. So anyway, thanks for listening. Paul from Solitaire, enough to trust, small enough to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Dave, you're next, and you're followed by Melissa.
Morning everyone, I'm Dave Moore from North Door Limited. I just want to talk about, LVT guys. What we do with LVT, you can have all different styles. So we've got a herringbone style here, we'll just turn it over to a tile tank as well. You can do this at all different styles, and also different costs as well, guys. So we're looking for anyone who's interested in LVT and wants to know a little bit more about it. Get in touch with us. We're happy to explain the best way how to use LVT.
LVT?
Sorry, luxury vinyl tile.
Yeah, look. Right, excellent. Melissa, you're next, and you're followed by Corey.
Good morning, everyone. Miss Jackson in my office, your local service. As you know, I do interactive insolvency work, but I want to get involved in sometimes some very complex situations. One that I am involved with at the moment, which I start to talk about. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, something you may remember. I've been appointed over a company that's been ordered by the court to transfer its property back to the person that it purchased the property from. This is because the person that sold the property to the company has been deemed to be what's called a transaction at undervalue. So now that I've been appointed as liquidator, I'm having to deal with the court proceedings in relation to the family matters of my husband and wife, as well as lots of other people that are involved in the proceedings. So if you know about anybody who's got issues and they need some advice, then see it, Mr. Jackson, you may want to see it.
Thank you, Melissa. And Corey, you're followed by Clara.
Before I start, apologies. The voice is almost gone, so I'm trying my best. Ready?
Oh,
Ready?
So, I'm Martin Express. I'll be doing have a courier service and a removal services. Today, what we'll be talking about is our removal services. This week, my wife and I are looking to actually buy a house, and this went into Chelmsford, and I went to a old couple house, and none of you might know this, I'm actually a Liverpool fan, a big Liverpool fan. And when I went into the house, big surprise, he has a shrine to Liverpool. Like everything Liverpool. And it made me think, if I have to move these people, like if I wasn't a Liverpool fan, how important would I think all these memorabilias and like plaques would be? So it made me think, as a mover, these are little details you wanna focus on, because these are the details that have people know that they care about your product. Sorry. So Martin Express, yes.
Right. Next up is Clara, and she will be followed by Catherine.
Thank you, Clara Downton, Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. As you can see, I will be doing the presentation shortly and focusing on equity release and that. So I just thought I'd say very briefly that obviously I do regular mortgages as well, from residential, buy-to-let, first-time buyers, later life mortgages, everything that kind of fits inside the ordinary mortgage as well as the equity release. And I'll cover kind of the difference between and a little bit more on all of that in my presentation shortly. So looking forward to hopefully educate a little bit further shortly. But that's Clara Downton, Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Clara, now that you stood up, I realise that you're much more vibrant than your top would indicate. All look forward to your 10 minutes. Right, Catherine, yeah.
Sit down.
In George Orwell's 1984, one of the things they do is rewrite the geography of the world. And this week, Donald Trump announced that the Gulf of Mexico is now going to be called the Gulf of America. They also rewrite history books. This week, Donald Trump announced that he's going to change the story of how COVID started. And they also have thought police and thought control. Thought control is an aspect of 1984 which is particularly terrifying. Now, as far as I know so far, Donald Trump hasn't done anything about this, but a lot of us are inadvertently giving into this. 73% of new companies use AI for their content creation, which basically means that we're allowing robots to speak to us. Okay? This is quite a terrifying thing. If we let this continue, there won't be any need for English teachers. Our imagination's going to die, creativity's going to die, originality's going to die. We're not going to have books, poems, scripts for films. We're not going to have music. Okay, it's going to be a very, very depressing world. So please don't let this happen. Let's resist becoming a dystopian society. Please use me to write as a human your web content, and don't let anyone use AI ever again. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Mike is next, followed by Ben.
Oh, I'm prepared for that.
Sorry,
Do you mind?
I didn't introduce you.
No, passing some of those around in your direction. I'm almost ready to start once. Hello. Yeah, good. Just for this one-time special, I am Mike representing JF Tree Specialists.
So, as a lot of you guys already know in here, that's where my background has come from, doing tree surgery, pricing of video business work. And basically, the company that I've done some work for, I'm now doing a lot more of the marketing and social side of the work for them. And we're trying to have a bit of a push this year away from residential work and more into commercial, bigger companies and that sort of thing. And I suggested to him that it's probably worth mentioning a networking group, because that's exactly the type of people that you guys can get in touch with. So rather than we can't really price down in Brentwood because we're basically in Colchester for one-off trees and things, which are just going to be too expensive. We're more looking for things like retail park, landscaping firms that manage those, hotel groups, country homes and estates, wildlife trusts, any companies with sort of multiple sites spread around the whole area. If you've got any contact details for who might do their management, who might run some of their sites, please put them in touch, because basically what we're offering is we're a fully qualified and insured team. We can deal with all the paperwork and compliance stuff, and we want companies that are looking to pay that little bit more and not get cowboys, companies that can do all this official work for them. Yeah, so get in touch with me. I'll put some details up on WhatsApp, and thank you.
Mike, Ben, you're followed by George.
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse, and I help people to save money on their essential household utilities. Gas, electricity, home phone, broadband, and mobile phone. And I now can give people the opportunity to qualify for free, yes, that's right, free energy. Now, we've done it again. Last week, we got named Utility Company of 2025 by Which magazine. On top of that, we've got the U-Switch Award for Best Energy Provider. On top of that, we have got the Citizens Advice Award for Best Customer Service. So, I'm looking to speak with people, to your friends and family, because there's never been a better time to have a chat so I can help them to save money with UK's cheapest, UK's most trusted, UK's most recommended, and the UK's most awarded utility company. Because I have the skills to reduce their bills. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next up is Josh, and he's followed by Blake.
Hello, I'm Josh from JDC Architect Studio. I'm a chartered architect, and the best way to describe what I do is creative problem solving. I'm currently working with some developers in London, and they've bought a lovely property in Bromley, and what we're looking to do is refurb the property and put it back on the market. And those are the sort of clients I'm looking for. People who they bought a property and they're just looking to get the best return on their investment. But aside from that, I do also work with domestic clients, people that have lived in a home for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, and they just want to be able to get the most out of their space. And yes, so any challenge is an excitement to me. Having an architect, a lot of people see it as a luxury. In some ways it is, but actually I'm a cost-efficient architect, so that's just from JDC Architect Studio.
Thank you very much, Josh. Right, Blake, you're next, and you're followed by James.
Morning everyone, Blake from Amazon for those who are outdoor and Essex clothing in the This week I'm still looking for an intro into TV studios, film studios, photographers, cinematographers, anything that I can sell smoke grenades to. And also we've got the clothing and the fake weapons we can supply for filming. So if anyone knows anyone, please put in touch with me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Blake. James, you're followed by Stuart.
Good morning, I'm James from Brown & Brown Insurance. General insurance brokers, so we will never go at pretty much anything in this room and beyond. However, I do like burly men and women, as you all know. So, builders, roofers, scaffolders, cladding contractors, things like that, where they go out and get their hands dirty, now what my dad would call a proper job, not sat in an office. So they don't tend to have the time, the desire or the inclination to go through their paperwork. So quite often their paperwork isn't as it should be. That's where I come in. I sit there and I do the boring part of going through the paperwork because I'm a soft office boy and I can do that. I'm not so yeah, builders, roofers, scaffolders, any kind of contractors, send them my way. And just to follow up the education slot, the presentation, if you are nervous, and I did not want to do my 10-minute presentation, I found if you put a picture of yourself topless on there, you kind of take the attention away from you talking and just looking at the screen. So I've got another little top tip for you all. James, Brown
Thank
You can't tell me you haven't still got that picture, Scott.
Imagine yourself sitting on the lavatory the way that you do it. Right, Stuart. Your turn. You're followed by Vincent.
Well, everybody, Stuart from Open Network. Now not here, so I'll go there. Yeah, he's massive. We were contacted on Monday by a company who are moving into their city offices next Monday. And Ocean Ridge have failed to deliver their internet connection. They've got 40 people moving in on Monday. Could we help? Now, we can't deliver a lease line over fibre in a week, but what we can do is put in a very special piece of kit where we are bonding two separate, because we all know there are only actually two mobile providers. We take two mobile signals and we bond them together. We bond them with a LEO service. Who knows what LEO is? Low Earth orbit satellite. You probably know it's Starlink. We get a Starlink, we bond it with the two mobile connections. We stick those three services into a little magic box that makes them work as one service, and we connect that in. That's being installed today. So in 4 days, you've gone from nothing to a triple resilient gigabit service for this Chinese finance firm that are moving into London on Monday. I think that's pretty damn impressive. Stuart from LG Networks, providers of low Earth orbit and massages. It's my first. Thank you very much. I was starting to write that down and I gave up.
Yeah.
But it sounded great. Well done. Right.
Letting us spy.
Vincent, you're followed by Dave Roberts.
Morning, all. This is Steve Brink based in Downton. We specialise in order of service booklets, amongst other things. We've been very busy with that actually recently. We have a dedicated website, funeralbooklets.co.uk, so you can all visit that and have a good laugh. A woman called me the other day. She looked at a few of the funeral booklet websites. She liked the look of mine. It's black and gold. It was very respectful. And from the conversation that we had, where I was respectful, knowledgeable, etc., she said she knew she was going to use me. I was the right man for the job. From what I said, answering the phone. So who knew? Who knew? Anyway, but I'm looking for introductions to funeral directors, general families, and also celebrants as well. So we're the best printers in the world. Terms and conditions apply. See in store for detail. No purchase necessary. Thank
you, Vincent. Dave, you're followed by Terry.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for making electrical. You've probably heard us ask for referrals for testing. So I thought this week I'd tell you roughly what we do when we're testing. So we go into a property, we'll look around, make sure there's no cracked sockets, open up the fuse board, make sure there's no like arcing stuff, burnt out stuff and all that sort of stuff. And then we get on to the actual testing. So with the testing, we use a meter similar to this. We've got a few of these. With this, we can test the condition of the cables. We're testing the earthing, testing the RCD tripping times, and a whole host of other items like that. Once we've got all those results, we then produce a report similar to this. So we've just got the client's name and address at the front. This is a page where you list the defects, if there are any, or the recommendations, what you need to do to bring up to scratch. This is the details of the installation. And these pages here are the items we actually check. So there's like probably about 100 or so items that we actually go through. And finally, at the end of it, you get a report on the condition of your circuits. So, and on that, we'll tell you if there's anything needs to be done. So, any testing you're doing, please give me a call. Thank you.
In 60 seconds, but you produce two props. That's good, isn't it? Right. Terry, you're next, and you're followed by Leanne.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Good morning, everybody. I'm Terry from CM Law. For the benefit of our visitors, I'm a solicitor and I'll sue anyone for anything. It really doesn't bother me. Anyway, today I'll just sort of tell you about a couple of things with the help of Clara. Nothing to worry about. Saw two clients this week. Both businesses both owed money. One of them I claimed on top of what they're owed compensation of £280, interest of £1,300. It's 8% above base, Clara. Base is
4.75.
You get quite a nice little bit of interest, 12.75%. You couldn't get that anywhere. Not suggesting you leave the money and be owed it, but if you are owed it, I'll make sure that I get compensation and interest as well as the money back. And that's what I do. It's ceremonial next year, Raw.
Terry, you're followed by
Good morning, everybody. As you know, I have a passion for interiors, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I can also be marriage guidance manager. I had a couple on a discovery call last night. I have a big extension done. They want me to help with the kitchen, the dining room, and office, and everything else. And they started to pick up on the colour of the walls in the kitchen. I thought, I'm not even there yet. But it just goes to show that there are differences. She wanted colour, he wants white. So I'll just explain to them that part of my job is to help them choose colours, and it depends what they want with the choice of the colour, the kitchen, the furniture, and everything else. And we can add colour with accessories and furniture. It doesn't have to go on the wall, or we can do different things on the wall. But I calm them down. They're still together as far as I know. But yeah, so that's going to be an interesting conversation when it comes to the colour of the wall. But the colour of the wall also does depend on the way the room faces, because it changes the colour, and then obviously artificial light. So these are all things that I take into account when I'm helping my clients, and so that's Leanne with Brentwood Interiors.
Well then, Leanne, the only thing to remember is when they're bickering, it shows that it's a solid marriage. Toby, you're next, and you're followed by Scott.
Morning, everybody. I've been working with a client, one particular client, for just over a year, mentoring them, the two directors, strategising their growth, inspiring, supporting, accountability, all that lovely stuff that I do. They've had great growth over the past year. They've gone from 5 staff to 12. 3 of the original staff are stepping up to more senior roles, supervising the new members. And when we first started, I did motivational maps with the 2 directors. They've now asked me to do motivational maps with the 3 that are stepping up, and we'll move on to the other team members. Maps are really good for companies that are going through change, got new team members that are changing roles and that sort of thing. Help them to understand each other, understand the team, work together better, be more efficient, more productive. And so I'm looking for businesses that are going through change, that have got increasing staff members changing roles, new staff members, that sort of thing. So if you know anybody that I could help like that, then please do mention me to them. Toby Acton, pole position, Business Solutions.
Congratulations, Toby. You weren't quite a newsreader, but
Yeah.
that was well done. Scott, you're next, and you're followed by Paul.
Hang on. Right, good morning. Scott from SEO. All kinds of websites. And my favourite website projects are the ones where I'm lucky to work with Matt and Matt's team. And yesterday, Matt and I were talking about a project, it's a challenge to our blog writer, talking about new things for this year and trends and so on. And Matt was introducing a flat kind of visual for what he wants me to go off and create. And part of the description was this bit needs to whoosh, and this bit needs to zhoosh. Spell zhoosh. I think it's not Z. But zhooshing and whooshing kind of trends of just bringing things to life to get a little bit more interaction and interest as users scroll through your site and interact with things. Zhooshing, whooshing, lazy loading, all kinds of things to get your website to work. Scott from SEO. Thank you.
Primary Jerusalem to work.
Whatever, up to you.
Thank you very much for that, Scott. Paul Blue, he's followed by Jane.
Good morning, I'm Paul DeLude of Essex Business, and I'm a professional listener, writer and storyteller. And then I craft those stories and that listening into bespoke ceremonies to help my clients celebrate, commemorate, love, life and loss. And whether it's the naming of a child, a naming ceremony, a wedding or vow renewal for a couple, or family saying goodbye or remembering a loved one, love is at the heart of everything I do. So in essence, I write love stories. And honestly, it's a wonderful way to make a living. I'm Paul DeLude from Essex Business. I write love stories and craft them into meaningful, bespoke ceremonies to help you celebrate, treasure, and remember life's most important milestones. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Positively poetic. Jane, you're next and followed by John Hammond.
Hello everybody. So as you know, I'm not talking about food at the moment, but I am mentioning that we have a grade 2 listed cottage in Norwich. I don't know if you've ever been to Norwich at all, but it's a historic, wonderful place, very foodie, from the market, which has won Europe's best market and has over 100 stores, through to cinemas, theatres, common streets, cathedral, castle, lots of history, lots of tours you can take, including a cheese and drink tour. I recommend that. £15, ruddy bargain. So it's only about an hour and a half, hour and 3/4 away, and everything is at your fingertips there. Can I tempt you to think about hiring our Airbnb place? All the bedrooms are en suite, it's cosy, the kitchen's well equipped, and you'll have an absolute blast. 2 nights as a minimum, please. Usually children above, certain height. We don't normally accept pets, but I know there are 1 or 2 special ones in this room. So do contact us about this.
So we can bring our parrot, can we?
Yes.
Thank you. John Hammond is next. He's followed by me, who's followed by Paul Boone.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology. We can supply all your security needs. What sets us apart from everybody else? Well, for our contracted clients, we know their system is working. We get alerts to say their cameras are failing, and we can then call the client and find out why. And it could be because the network went down that we could have Stuart for our help with. All this service is provided to our contracted clients with the help of Scott and the email service he's helped us with. It tells us the computers are live, it tells us the cameras are live. Therefore, when you want to go back to the recording, you know it's going to be there. You're not looking at it thinking, oh, my camera's failed 4 months ago, and you never knew about it, because you don't look at the system. So if you want a working system, and you want it looked after professionally, call us. John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thank you very much, John. Into my TM Law. Yesterday I completed a company assets purchase. It was effectively a company selling the whole company, just buying its assets with clients. It was a good deal for the client because they were not purchasing a company with all its walls, they were just purchasing the assets. It's a good matter for me because it brings in lots of our skills and it's a good earner. So from my point of view, we deal with contractual negotiations, we deal with ancillary matters like employment contracts, or we deal with ancillary matters like leases, although that wasn't the case in this particular matter. So I deal with this in conjunction with a colleague. You need to, because you're often up with big large but it's our principal expertise, and it's good business. Look out for them. Company sales, company purchases, assets or sales of shares. That's Aidan Squire in TM Law. And next, last but by no means least as far as the members are concerned, is the recently much larger booth.
Morning, Paul Booth from Green Code Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. I have lots of meetings, face-to-face meetings with clients, which are very important. But a lot of accountants don't have face-to-face. It's all face-to-face meetings. It's all online. So I'm looking for people who don't have physical meetings with their clients. A while ago, I had a meeting with a client called Kevin, quite a successful businessman, middle-aged, single, not married, no family. And towards the end of the meeting, he said to me, "There's something I've got to tell you. I've never told anyone before." And you do hear lots of things, sometimes marriage guidance. He said, "When I'm alone, I get naked, I smoke myself with peanut butter, and my dog licks it off."
We definitely see the end of it.
You really need a girlfriend. I'll sort mine for the dog.
I missed that.
No, it's the ball. Was it the scrunchie thing with the ball? Right, that is the one. Easy. Right, that's the contribution from the member, but don't let the visitors think they're getting away with it. Scott. Get the
That's the second best. Hello everyone, my name's Scott Charles of Scott Charles Bespoke Finishes. I'm a decorator, but I decorate with a twist. I use not just emulsion, I use Venetian plasters, gold leaf, thick metals. I have a brain up box of frogs. I'm very creative, and my aim is to try and make every house look different. My motto is create distinctive style. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Scott. We'll have to think of another name for you if you join. Darren, give us a couple of minutes.
My name is Darren. I'm a local carpenter. I've been doing it for a number of years. I specialise in second fix carpentry, so with the kitchens, hanging your doors, curtains, architraves, all that sort of stuff. I'm really nervous right now. I'm going to stop talking in a sec, but yeah, my name's Darren. I'm locally based in Billericay, so if you need anything doing, I appreciate a call. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Admirable in many ways, including it took less than 60 seconds. Yeah. Right. Okay. That is the end of the 60-second round. Because the last one took a long time. Very good. I enjoyed them all. John, who's won the Oscar?
It's a really hard choice this week. It's been really good 60 seconds. I was going to give it to Corey, but then he mentioned he's a Liverpool fan. That's a big no. So today I'm going to give it to James. He's a soft office boy, but he looks after us butch men. So.
Thanks,
Thank you for that, John. Well done, soft boy. For the visitors, yes, it's almost like this. Right, so that is the end of the 60-second round. What always follows from the end of the 60-second round is item number 10 on my agenda, which is the meeting secretary's report.
Yep. Right, okay, I've been going on about it for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Hey, this meeting right now is the last chance you've got to get all of your V-forms, your bits of money, and your referrals, and all of those things into the end of this financial year for us. So that's the statistics that the membership committee will look back at on your renewal and say, in that year, the member has done this many referrals and attended this many one-to-ones and transacted this much business, given this much and received this much. It's all really useful. So if you do get the opportunity, just make sure everything you've done is in and recorded. So that's that piece. The second, right at the front there, we have a television on display today that's being used as the presentation device. That is now an EF TV. So if you require the use of such a device for your presentations, give me notice, because during the week it's just in my garage at home. I need to remember to get it out and stick it in my car. But we have an EVF television for your presentations. It's much better than the old school projector, much clearer and easier to see. You just need to bring your own laptop and cable to plug it in and be here early today up and test it. But we have that as something.
Thank you very much, Scott. That's great. Right. We had a synergy team meeting last week, and Jane did us wonderful notes of it. But Jane, just tell us how wonderful it was.
Well, one of the wonderful aspects, apart from the topic that we talk about, which is always interesting, is the synergy. Sorry to state the obvious, but the interaction between all the members, Corey suggesting to Jonathan, and Jonathan suggesting, and so it goes on. And that's absolutely wonderful. We listen to what each of us are saying and then chip in with really helpful tips and advice, or just, I know somebody that can help with that. last week's topic was about the new year, what we're going to do going forward. And Scott, for example, was looking at what worked well last year and what he wanted to do more of, and mentioning a new sort of mini blog method via Google and so on. So we pick up tips, things we didn't know before, and we support each other if we're going through slightly more challenging times. So if you can get along to Paul's Synergy group, which is on a different day of the week, on a Tuesday, or to the one I do after a meeting once a month on a Thursday, please do. But there's also points make prizes. You get a point for it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jane. And just one further extension to that, we do have a new synergy team, which Leanne oversees, and keep your eyes open for when that next meets and turn up those of you who are affected. Right, that's that. And we now move towards, inexorably, the 10-minute presentation. Fred.
Thank you very much. It's been unorganised, and I was working out what extra monies I need to pay in for extra members there as well. So, there it is. Before I introduce today's speaker, I'll give you an update for the upcoming weeks. The presentation. So, next week into February, we have Leanne doing the 10-minute presentation and the education provided by Auntie Jane. On the 13th of February, we have our annual report today. So, there'll be no 10 minutes, but Aidan and Scott will be managing that, and I'll be doing the education slot. On to the 20th, then Paul will be doing the 10 minutes, and Vince will be doing the education slot. 20th.
This month?
Yes. No, next month. The 27th, Matt will be doing the 10 minutes. We swap you around when you're back from holiday. And I'll be doing the education slot. Then, literally, just moving things down to March, John will get you to your first 10 minutes on the 6th, and Paul will get you to do the education slot that day, please. When it is your turn to do the 10 minutes, please go to the EBF website, download bio sheets, and get it to me a day or two beforehand. If you can't do your 10 minutes or your end slot, please let me know as soon as possible. We'll do our best to swap things around. And to allow 8 minutes for your presentation if you would like to allow 2 minutes for questions. And finally, don't forget to bring a speaker's prize. So today's speaker, we have the lovely Clara Downton. They're from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services, of which she's the mortgage advisor. And nature of the business is mortgages and protection, and the areas covered is the whole of the UK. So a couple of things that Clara has put down here. So Clara's best day out is spending time with family or friends, even better when it combines dancing and or travel. Something that Clara admires in other people is confidence. It's something that she's definitely improved on with age, but a feedback from her dancing that she needs more confidence is something that then she admires in others. A type of music, so anything that you can dance to. You can dance to with a modern jive, so that's a lot of variety. And finally, something we should all avoid. Standard variable rates on mortgages. So, please put your hands together for Clara Downton.
Thank you very much. So just talk around Jane. So I'm Clara Downton from Downton Mortgages and Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. We are mortgage and protection advisors, and it's kind of always good to really kind of think through sort of the different things that we can offer. So I'll talk you through that later. But I'm going to start with a little bit about me. So I grew up in Bishop Stortford. We moved there when I was 1. I have 3 siblings: older sister, younger sister, and my baby brother, who is Shannon's husband, who you'll have met on the odd occasion. I don't know how she lives with him, but there we go. Moved to London, attended university, and I worked in the city. Went travelling for 10 months when I was 25, and then returned to the city. That was hard. Then I worked in the city for 12 years before leaving to work in mortgages. And in 2017, I started as a mortgage advisor for a local firm and set up on my own just over 5.5 years ago. Where 5.5 years have gone, I cannot tell you. So yeah, that's a little bit more about me. I'm hoping this will work. So that's the sort of dancing that I do, and a few pictures of me. There's a little one there in July, which went to see my sister this month. Me in Copenhagen with some friends, and Christmas with the family. So you can see those are the kind of key themes of my life. Is a little bit of family, friends, travel, and obviously my dancing. And as you can tell from the music, we really can dance to anything. And the guy that I'm dancing with there, I met him for the first time that day, and that's how modern jive works. As long as you kind of know the signals and you know what you're following, then you can dance with anybody. So yeah, I think that was the second time we danced, but we'd never met before that day. Just danced away. So that's dancing, and it's one of my passions in my life. 2025 and beyond. 2024 was a challenging year, so I'm looking forward to changing things up a little bit. Running my own business has been very rewarding, and it was actually one of the things that was actually very successful for me in 2024, which is always good. But decided from personal reasons I need to kind of give myself a little bit more time to do stuff for me. Dancing has become quite a big focus, but I want to balance that out as well. So this year it's a lot about sort of family. I went to see my sister in Dubai in January to see my nephew and my sister and her husband. But I do plan to try and travel a bit more as well this year. So trying to look at all the different balances, which I think is very important in life. So about business. You can see me and Shannon there. So Shannon does the protection side primarily, but also helps me on an administrative side. So she'll often schedule meetings and sort of discuss things with clients, but also help with certain sort of protection side of things. And I do all the kind of main mortgages, have the conversations with people, do the analysis of what they can do, and work through things like that. So we're a pretty good team. So just to talk a little bit on what we do, it is, as I said earlier, residential mortgages, buy-to-let, and equity release. And equity release, I really mean lifetime mortgages, but I'll touch on that further in a minute. But it really is, for me, about understanding what people's situation is and what works best for them. Example, I had a client who, she was talking about what she might want to do with her residential property the other day, and said she'd really like to do some work on it, but she's in a 2-year fix for another couple of years on a really lovely little rate. So we're chatting generally, and we talked about her rental property that she does have as well, that had all the cladding issues, so was unable to be touched for a very long time, but all of that's now changed. So we started talking about that maybe she can do something on that side. So that's where I'm trying to understand the different options I have for clients. They may be just talking on one part, but I'll ask all the questions so that I understand the big picture, and then I can work out what might make more sense for that client based on their scenarios. So it's not just always taking exactly what somebody thinks they want to do, but understanding everything so I can see if there may be other options they wouldn't have thought through. So that's kind of how I try and holistically look at a person and their scenario rather than necessarily what they've come to talk to me about. So to talk about lifetime mortgages. So equity release is for people over 55, and it's looking at ways of releasing funds from their property. There are 2 different types available. One is a lifetime mortgage and one is home reversion. Now, when I talk about equity release, I mean lifetime mortgages. About 99.5% of the market is lifetime mortgages. Home reversion is where somebody sells their property essentially to a specialist business who they then get free rent for life. Most people don't want to lose that ownership of their property. That's what they want to keep. And they just want to essentially have a mortgage they never have to pay back. And that's what a lifetime mortgage is. So if somebody really would want a home reversion, I would refer them to somebody else. I just deal with lifetime mortgages. But as I say, It's about 99.5% of the market. So there's not that many clients that I wouldn't be able to help if they were all right fit for equity release. And they can take it as a lump sum, smaller instalments, or a little bit of both, depending on what the affordability is. In the past, equity release really have had a very bad name. There was very little regulation in the early days, and that had unscrupulous practices, and people ended up in a bad situation in many cases. The Equity Release Council are very good with how they have really looked at bringing in certain best practices, and although it isn't mandatory, lenders and advisors who sign up to the Equity Release Council, who I am a member of, are very good at making sure that people are protected. So here's a few sort of things that they try and do to make sure that people are protected. It's capped or fixed interest on the loan. I only deal with ones that are fixed interest. So then people know exactly what they're signing up for, they know what the rate's going to be, and that's what they take forward. That they have the right to remain in the property. Obviously, as with all mortgages, you have to make sure that you adhere to what their sort of conditions are. But those are fairly light when it comes to an equity release mortgage. And therefore, unless they die or move from their home into long-term residential, it's their home. So that's quite important. The right to move to another property. There's obviously caveats there based on value and all that kind of thing, but you have the right to look at that. No negative equity guarantee. You won't owe more than what the property is worth. So you're not going to be leaving an estate that has negative equity in it. And the right to make penalty-free payments. So if somebody wanted to, they can make the interest payments every month. They don't have to, but they can choose to. And that way the loan doesn't grow with roll-up, and therefore actually they can end up in a good position. If they do choose to roll up, on current interest rates, the loan usually doubles in about 12 years. So that's kind of things that people should be aware of. But where they take them out later, that's usually not a massive issue. And usually people will take between 25 and 40% of what they have as equity in the property. So reminders. No obligation chat. I'll work through options. I'll help clients make decisions. $499 is the application fee, but I will work through everything in advance and discuss all of that with the client and make sure they're comfortable. There's no fee obligation. There are no fees or obligation if they do want help with insurance. I do work with both Howard and James where appropriate to provide stuff in their direction, and we very much all work together to make sure that we're getting the right result for the client. And if you know someone with a mortgage rate expiring in the next 6 months, we can lock in a rate and then continuously review to make sure it remains competitive. So that's just a quick reminder of different types of protection that we can talk through and home insurance things to think through. And that is me, and that's Shannon's dog, Crab. So thank you very much for the now. Any questions?
I have a question on the mortgages. What would be the main difference between doing that and doing a remortgage?
So I do types of mortgages. So I will do remortgages, I will do product transfers, and I can do obviously first mortgages. It's basically, people just need to look at their different options. Very much, you will get to the end of your product with your lender, and as I said in the sort of first bit that Ben read out, you know, if you go onto your standard variable rate, you will be in a worse position. At the moment, most standard variable rates are around about 7.5% plus, whereas most rates out there are in kind of 4 or 5%. So unless there's a very good reason that you don't want to have, say, penalties or things like that, you should always be remortgaging or product transferring before the end of your fixed rate ending. And usually we should start looking at it about 6 months before.
Right. Thank you very much for that. We're going to have to cut it short here. We're running short on time. Thank you very, very much indeed. do the running for us on the referral round. Before we start that, Scott.
Yeah, the bits I forgot to say earlier that I was supposed to do. First of all, 16 new referrals passed this meeting, pushing us up to 40 or 50 referrals, I think, so far this month. £15,000 or thereabouts worth of new business as well, pushing us close to 100k, which got this month shared between us, which is all wonderful. And the last thing is, yes, we've got in 2 weeks' time the annual review. That means next week you'll all be voting on the member awards. We'll start thinking early. You'll be voting on the best 60-second presenter throughout the year, best 10-minute presenter, and who you think is your member of the year. For whatever reason, you might choose to award such a thing. And then the fourth award we have is the statistical member of the year. But you need to be voting for some of those who will be voting over this next week. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Right, let's get on with the referrals and testimonials round. We'll start with Paul as always.
Yeah, well, thanks to all the new visitors. Hope to see you again. Well done, and Ben as well, and Clara, thank you, excellent as always. Put in some thank you money for next members, and well, Kelly as well for this.
Yeah, good morning everybody. Again, I look forward to it. I can see this come along, please come and see us again. Thank you very much for that presentation and always for Ben and yours. Had a one-on with Paul on Monday. We were very well behaved. We was, yeah. We had the phones and coffees around. Very impressive. Thank you. Just a quick question. I love the soft boy. Yeah. We should do a mock-up maybe of top boy and change that to soft boy. I wondered if it wasn't related to lazy loading with soft boy.
Excellent meeting. Good to see the visitors. Welcome. It's always nice to get a bit more insight onto that new area. I suppose it's still fairly new, isn't it? Yeah. And great Ed Slot, Ben. He was a good reminder. I was very nervous when I started here, and just doing the 60 seconds really boosts your confidence over the years. Right, I have a thank you to the money to Tall Paul. Thank you. Sweet payment, great service, thank you. And further to Paul, small Paul, old Paul.
Also, I'm fairly new member as well, and I think you really enjoy it, especially asking what people do and just taking an interest in the individual just to get to know them even better. So you will enjoy your time here as well if you do that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to the referral for Toby Acton. Or do I say who was from, or just that's?
No, I'll say it's good.
Let's go. I need to speak to you about something. I don't know if you can help, but we'll speak about it on.
Yeah, sure.
Synergy meetings. James, thanks last week. Brilliant. Awesome. James, referral for the new van insurance. I think it's all in hand. One-to-one with Dave Moore. Last month, this Monday. One-to-one with Stuart. Really enjoyed that. And thanks for the money to Melissa for the body service. I believe that's all sorted as well. I don't know. I invoiced it. Thanks Ben for the head slot. I've got a note here. Paul Booth is the new Brian Homer. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Very interesting, and well done, Ben, and welcome to the visitors. Darren, I'll have to speak to you afterwards, so I might have some work with you. Yeah, I'll catch up afterwards. I've just got one thank you to Mel. Thank you.
Yeah, great to see Scott too, and Dan will have to think of a Thank you for joining. Hopefully you'll come back and you like what you see. Well done, Clara. It's excellent. Really good, really clear. Lovely little picture of the dog. Can't go wrong. Really put on at the start. So good. Got a whole series of one-to-one set up with all our new members. So I've already seen Andy, seen John, Dave, Catherine after the meeting, etc. etc. So looking forward to the one-to-ones and getting to know what Corey does as well in a bit more detail. If you haven't already, make sure you get one-to-ones with these new guys because it's amazing how much you can learn from them, but also what they can learn about what you want. You know, got a referral for Tina. She's not here, but I sent it to her. And as I said, one-to-one with Andy and David. We don't need to sorry.
Thank you.
This?
Yeah,
good meeting. Education stuff, thank you. Yeah, the equity release, family members got turned over back in the early days. So we've got that horrible kind of stigma attached to it. So, yeah. People trusting their own heart because we have to leave clients. So I've got a thank you money for Tall Paul.
Oh, thank you.
And a general one to EBF for Scott. We spoke about it, numbers. And something I'm not set very often, but something can be learned from Ben this week. We had Tall Paul over in 60 seconds going, we are reading very good. And everyone here goes reading, but I don't really like talking about it. So I don't mind saying that, but we're all right. And Ben going, we are brilliant! So a little bit more of that, a little bit less of that, because you can. You'd be right to.
Well, to softball there for 10 minutes. Fantastic, really vibrant, lots of fun. Most fun we have on a Thursday morning, 7:30, perhaps. Fantastic 10 minutes, really informative. Great end slot. Welcome to guests. Yeah, nothing to worry about. You absolutely smashed it. So come back to it again. Well done on yours to win. I've got a referral for Blake. Unfortunately, his hats he's got in stock are too small for my massive head. Because next week I'm completely uncelebrated, but I'm on a business trip in the northern Cape of South Africa, which will be nice and hot. I've got a referral for you, Clara. My brother-in-law, I'll give him your card. It's a discussion about potential mortgage. I've got a thank you for the money to a former member, Sarah Still. And that's it, thank you.
Yeah, great 10 minutes. You helped me with my first house and I wouldn't have it without you. So thank you. And highly recommend it to everybody. Great ed slot. Welcome to the members. OG and YG.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a one-to-one with OG.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, God.
Easy.
Okay.
Oh.
Original gangster. And a thank you to money to John H.
Thank you very much. Is that your book?
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very great. Yeah, thank you everyone. Really enjoyed it. Definitely back.
See you next week.
I've had an excellent session with Ian yesterday, training session. That was useful. Going to see Paul tomorrow for a similar thing. And I've got Blake and John coming back to my place straight after the meeting to get some stuff done. So yeah, good evening. Yeah, you guys. Excellent meeting. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes, testimonial from my son for Clara, the way she helped him out with his mortgage. He was in a very difficult situation for all sorts of reasons, and he was very positive and he was full of praise for her. So you may take that as being the best I can do to give a testimonial for her. As far as this week is concerned, I've put a couple of thank you for the monies that total about £13,000. So that's a start for the year, and I hope the meeting's been great. It's nice to see great numbers. Let's see what you have for next week. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. As always, you make a confusing topic quite easy to understand, and so you're always very good at your. I think though next time you need to do your 10 minutes just dancing as well. And great to see the visitors here, and I know you're nervous, but you're much better than I was on my first 60 seconds. So well done. Got the referral there to John. John Hammond, first we want to talk about the CCTV and visiting, hopefully upgrading his CCTV. And then that one for Stuart, I don't know if he's been in touch yet or not, Leo. He has. Oh, good. Thank you very much. Yeah, see you. Oh, we can get one to fun in as well. And it'll be good to get a one-to-one with you, Corey, as well as November as well. Great, clear. Hope to see you. Oh, well, see you all next year.
Right, you can see the fantastic bits. I know that we need to get one-to-one and EP pushback, so we will be doing that. But loads of one-to-ones to get in with various people, and I'll be emailing everyone very soon. Thank you very much to Saul Hall for your work and Space Bar, County Bar. Absolutely fantastic. I always like to know what they're doing in the house, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. You know, standing over their shoulder with them is really annoying clients. It's great. They can show you what the problem was. Do that with everyone, so shout, so fantastic. I can't recommend them. It's not brilliant presentations that people are really difficult and really nervous, so good to get everyone on that. I won't actually be here next week. Unfortunately, I'll be on radio Sunday. Obviously, thank you very much for my guest, Clara, and I hope that you'll see you next week.
All right, Emma, you did very well with your presentation. It was very good. I just want to say, nice to meet you all, and hopefully I'll hear from you guys soon. And we'll smoke together. So, thank you.
Thank you. We'll just 10 minutes, each understanding certain parts of what we do. For the guests, good to have some more tradesmen in the group, so that's good. And that's Paul for one-to-one. Thank you, Paul, that was great.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Well done, Paul, for your 60 seconds as a new celebrant. And also well done for winning the Oscar. Soft boy. Very good presentation. I've got a friend who's very into jive. Do you know him? Colin. His name's Colin.
Not sure I've met him yet.
He's driving his way towards you, so to speak.
It's a small world, isn't it, really?
I think you should do an EVF dancing thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm telling Dawn we should learn to dance, but he's not really keen on the idea yet, maybe. I've got thank you for the money to Stuart, thank you. I had a one-to-one with Tina, but she's not here, and then a referral for Vince. I'll just pass it.
Great 10 minutes. I haven't actually met you yet, so it's the first time I've seen you. But I will need some advice in about 6 months for a remortgage, so I'll speak to you then. Edgeslot was great. I wish I'd had that last week and then it would be more prepared this week. But welcome to both guests. Hope to see you next week. Hopefully, I'll do some work myself because I always get people asking about doors and hanging them, so I'm going to do that. So I shall send some your way. I've got a referral for Tall Paul. It's Wilson. I don't know if you managed to speak to him.
I'll get in contact.
And I'll see you all next week. Thank you.
That's all fantastic. 10 minutes. You know so much about what you're talking about, and it was really helpful when I was asking questions about such things as well. So thank you for that. Ben, great slot, and good advice there. Vince, you were sort of saying about being the best printer in the world, which reminded me I was in something's house a little while ago, and they had a really old 90s ball or like a lawn darts game, which has clearly gone out of business, but the tagline on it was probably the most entertaining game in a millennium, which I think was quite a bold claim. Yeah. What else have I got on there? Oh, welcome to the guests. Could you give Scott your website details or contacts, whatever, so we can look up, do more, that sort of thing. And yes, I will put a few details up about the tree surgery side of things, just the sort of people we're looking for. If anyone's got any emails, that'd be great, just because it'll make me look good and sort of say, look how great networking is, do more of it. So, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I know we spoke earlier on about my credentials, that was really helpful. Thank you very much. great head start then. I'm still nervous after 2 years.
Good.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm getting better, but you know, it's getting easier to do, I suppose. Welcome to our guests. And yeah, I'll say now rather than later. Synergy meeting, property synergy meeting is next week after the meeting. So if you're free after the meeting and you're interested, stay behind. Thank you.
Yeah, great to meet you. Yeah, I'm very much for fun friends when they're looking for it. I got a referral from Dave that I put his pricing with my quote for a refurb job. I've got the referral for Blake for some new ball cases for spare kits. Sort of hang on it, the Indian chat that's going on, so I'm still very sure. And small referral which to Scott, whether the money went in or not.
You did.
Thank you. King for Jane for the synergy. Great to meet you. I'll see you all next week.
Excellent meeting. Thank you to those technical services, Scott. So does my website whoosh or zhuzh?
It's a bit of zhuzhing and whooshing.
But also, funnily enough, I was Googling lazy loading yesterday after I was trying to dick around with my client carousel to try and break it for you. Excellent, excellent. Ben and Clara, fantastic 10 minutes. I think, there's been a move in the industry to really improve the reputation of equity release. I think you're a great example of that. Welcome to Scott. I met Scott last week before young Scott. Sorry. Had a one-to-one with him earlier this week. Have a look at his Instagram. Is it Scott Charles Bespoke Finishes? Right, I'll stick it on the grid. Then you get a real feel for what he does. It's absolutely fantastic. He's an artist. And welcome Darren. Always good to know a good chippy, and it'd be great to have a chippy in the group. Synergy meeting, Jane. Thank you very much. As always, fantastic. Referral to Corey. Join the group. A client of mine rang me yesterday, said, do you know anybody that does office removals? You should say that. And a referral to Leanne for Scott, because I actually introduced them for the meeting. So for that. And a thank you for the money for Vincent. Thank you, Vince. Congratulations to Paul. John, I had my notes last week, introduced John, but I didn't finish the sentence, and I can't remember who. It was in the synergy meeting.
Was it a property manager? Property management company?
Conveyancing company.
That's the one.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry,
I didn't read that. I was just thinking Stuart and Corey should sit down. Actually got synergy with office moves.
You sure you covered it? Times.
Out for breakfast.
They were lunch.
Welcome to the visitors, and thank you, Ben, for the headshot. Always find the headshot very helpful, and the authors especially. And thank you, Clara, for that 10 minutes. Really helpful. I look forward to talk about my mortgage with you. I had a one-to-one with Nick on Monday, which I missed, so I logged it on the website, so that's all right. And I've got one-to-one UK, looking forward to that. Just got a referral here for Dan Moore for the Downton flooring. Spoken to you about that. And then I've got a thank you to the money for flooring. Thank you, and look forward to seeing everyone next week.
Thank you. Thank you again, Ben, for setting us going there. Lots of great food for thought. I'm very interested in public speaking skills and presentation skills. And Clara, she really knows her onions. There's nothing that I've thrown her way over the years that she can't answer. You really are an expert in your field. Thank you for that. Darren and Scott, most welcome today. Great to meet you. And it's brave to come along to a whole new thing you've never been before, but you really are welcome. My own synergy group, that's that. One thing to mention, because the universe is hating me this year, our phone is no longer working. I don't know what's going on. So if anybody wants to get hold of me, the normal business and house phone won't work, but you're welcome to message me. I'm on the WhatsApp groups and I can pick that up. Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Clara, come on first. Come
on. So we have today's patch. Free mortgage.
I'm John. Which one?
Which John?
That's not a big deal, it says on the top of the bill.
Very honest.
Yes. From Toby.
Look another one.
Not a referral.
Folks, we are very, very close to the 8:30 on which the doors of the cafe open. So as we do finish, can I request you all please to help Jeremy putting everything back? Aiden's going to finish the meeting before you all get up.
Yes, don't go running off anywhere just yet. Anybody want any quick announcements of the group? No. It's sunshine.
There's one more space for the wine testing. Dave just took one up. So
Right. Thanks for turning up. See you next week.